Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to my channel, and I hope everybody is having a good day. Let me tell you about a little bit about my weekend. I did have a productive weekend. I read a little bit and meditated yesterday. But one thing that I haven't been doing is sitting around and watching TV. You know, once you start your journey and you're trying to stay connected, a lot of that is what your life is based off of, just as far as reading and getting the things you know. But this weekend, I took my time and I actually watched three three movies, and I just pretty much relaxed this weekend. Normally I stay busy working on something, but this weekend I was just like, I'm gonna just take some time. I am still in First Samuel. Today, I just want to talk about chapter 9. Chapter 10 is actually good, which I read on that as well. It took me about 2 weeks just to do 9 and 10 and to come up with what nuggets are we taking away from chapter 9 and 10. But today, I am just talking about chapter 9, which it was talking about Saul. Which Saul is the one that was going to be anointed for king, because like in the last video, they wanted a king. They had rejected God, so they wanted a human king like other nations. So with that being said, Saul is going to be anointed king, but in chapter 9 it was just giving you the backdrop of how Saul ran into Samuel. So Kish, which is Saul's father, donkeys had wandered off. So Saul and his servant ended up going to find the donkeys, right? Nugget number 1 I want to tell you is pay attention to, whenever you read chapter 9, pay attention to how they describe Saul as taller or more impressive than anyone else. Okay, you're gonna pay attention to the wording when you're reading. But anyway, yeah, so they went to look for the donkey and they could not find the donkey at all. So Saul's servant said, you know, there's a seer in the city. Maybe we can go ask him if he could help us look for the donkey or find the donkey. A seer back then is what is known to us now, a prophet. It was a seer. And whenever you go to see the seer, you usually take some form of gift or food or something. So they didn't have anything. So the servant, which was with Saul, said that he had a few silvers. So they went to see the seer. As they were walking to go to see the seer, they stopped. They seen this lady and asked her, do you know where the seer is? And she said, yeah, he's about to go up to the high city to do a sacrifice, that you better catch him before he gets there, or whatever the case may be. And so when they come across to the seer, mind you, the Lord had already spoke to Samuel and said, tomorrow this time, I'm going to send a guy that is going to be a Benjamin, and that's who you are to anoint as king. So Saul and his servant ended up seeing the seer, which is Samuel, and right then Saul knew that the Lord spoke to him and told him that, you know, this is going to be the king. This is the one that you are to anoint. So Saul had already prepared a table and put up food for whoever the Lord had designed to be that king. So when they went up to the high place to eat, because Samuel asked Saul to come eat with him and his servant, he sat him at the table, which had like 30 plus people. I would take it to be highly professional people. And he sat at the head of the table of that. And he had already put away some food, the best food for the sacrifice for whoever that king was going to be, which was going to end up being Saul. So Saul is the one that Samuel actually put the food up for. So as they, you know, eat and whatever, The next day, Samuel told Saul to tell his servant to go ahead of him, and he stayed and let him tell him what the Lord has told him in his heart. Okay, so that was a lot. That's why you have to read that whole chapter, because I just go back and give you a rundown. And I pick out what applies to me, and I'm hoping it applies to you, because once I do all of that, I try to see what it is about me that fits in there. So the thing that I wanted to say the most is Saul and his servant went looking for the donkey. Okay? So he was at the right place at the right time looking for his donkey. Most of us don't want to do anything because we're tired, or we feel as though, I don't feel like doing that right now. Now, suppose Saul would have said, well, I don't feel like looking for the donkey right now. He would have missed out on what Samuel had for him. So it is vital, even if it is out of our way, it is vital that we do not get caught up in our own routines. And I'm one of them. I am such a routine person. So when I read that, and I was like, you know what? I'm such a routine person. People say you don't miss your blessings, or you don't miss the timing of God. I believe you do. Do I think they'll come back around? Yes, because some people are slow to move, and I'm one of those people that was slow to move, but I'm learning now how to move when God say move. You just don't know what's on the other side of that movement. So if Saul wouldn't been looking for that donkey, he wouldn't have never ran into Samuel. And Samuel, if he didn't have a relationship with God, he wouldn't ever been able to perceive what God was saying. So when Saul ran into Samuel, Samuel already knew, this is the guy that I am going to anoint for king. This is who's going to be the king, because God had already told him. So that's why it is important to make sure you're spending your time with God, because you don't know what he's telling you. If we all stressed out and distracted all the time, we may miss what God is going to say. Or like with Samuel, if Samuel was hesitant to even help him or listen to him because he was so busy, he was already going somewhere, he could have missed out. You don't know what a person may be in your life for. So just don't discredit people just because they don't look like you, or whatever the case may be. You might be talking to the person that's going to bless you. And God may instantly say right there to you, this is she, or this is he. So when I read that, I was thinking about my whole entire journey in walking with God. Like, I need you to clean me up, Father, because I want to be able to be at the right place at the right time in order for whoever you have, or whatever person is looking at me, that I may not miss them. Because the servant, Saul actually wanted to give up since they couldn't find the donkey. It was the servant who told him, let's go see the seer. Who's in your corner telling you, let's keep going? You got to find those cheerleaders, those people that's in your corner to say, let's keep going. Because what if they would have listened and went back? Then they would have missed Samuel and what Samuel had for Saul. So that's why I say it was a lot in chapter 9 that I just was like, oh, wow. But chapter 10 has a lot of nuggets in it too. And that is the thing what you're reading. You're reading and getting inspired. I take the things like the directions that God gave him. God gave me clear directions and clarity, allowing me not to miss you. So chapter 9, that is how I broke it down for me and today in my level. 3 months from now, I could read the same chapter and it means something different. It's just where I'm at right now. The things that I need to look at what's for me in my life and what I can share to you guys. And if I had to share anything from chapter 9, first of all, it would be read it. Second of all, it would be making sure you're lined up and you're listening and following the things God say. Don't discredit your servant. Keep going. And as far as Samuel goes, be intentional in listening and build that relationship with God so that when somebody do come, you know that's that person. So that is what I wanted to tell you guys about 1 Samuel chapter 9. I just feel like you should read it and dig all the nuggets out that you think may benefit your life. And even if it don't benefit your life, it may benefit somebody else's. Just make sure that you're asking God to give you insight. Because we all have eyesight. But it's in the insight where you get the most information, and it just from that inner where you'll know what God is saying to you. Okay? So until next time, go ahead and read chapter 9. That whole chapter. Bye.